Welcome back, and today we're looking at this, the PILZ PNOZ 1 safety switch. I'm going to show you how to wire it and what some of the features do. So first off, we're going to wire in our 24 volts DC, 24 volts going into the A1, and 0 volts goes into A2. And I'm going to energize it. But as you can see, nothing happens. So if we get our test probes, we go between A2, 0 volts, and A1, we get 24 volts DC. And then between 0 volts and T11, we get 24 volts DC. So that unit is now live and ready to be wired. So now that we've proven that the unit is working as it should, now we're going to take a permanent link from your A1 to 13. And then from 13 to 41. And what we're going to do is I'm going to link between 14 and 24 and 23 and 33. This is going to prove that all these channels are working correctly to give us our output voltage to our normally closed button on the stop button. The link from the 13 to 41 is going to go through 41 to 42, which is on normally closed going open, which will energize this safety light when this is triggered. So we're going to start off with that. So if we go between A1, remember to isolate before you do anything like this. I know it's only 24 volt, but still, you could damage something. So if we go between 13 and 41. So there now are permanent links in now. Now we're going to go between 14 and 24. And then another link from 23 to 33. Okay, that's that. So now 34 is ready for our permanent to go through to our normally closed on our stop button. Turn that up there. And now if we take our permanent from our safety stop light, that's going to go into your 42, and that'll, when the safety's trigger, that will trigger that light to come on. Okay, so now that that's done, we're going to move on to our e-stop now. So what we're going to do now is, so on your e-stop you should have two normally closed switches on the back of it. Should be two switches like these on the back, one representing one channel and the other representing the other channel. So T11, T12 represent channel 1, T12, T22 represent channel 2. So we're going to take these two as one side of the push button. A2 for the other side of the push button. So essentially before, when the A1 was energized, it energized T11. So now when the T11 is energized, it's going through the close to energize T12, and which energizes this T12, which then goes through the close and energizes this T22, which allows these two channels to be clear and ready to perform their task. So now after that it's ready, we're going to go to our reset button, which is a normally open going close switch. So we'll take that down and they go into T33 and 34. There we go. So that's now ready. So X1 and X2 are your feedback loop. Now, not all safety circuits have feedback loops, but this one does. And the reason why it has it is because it monitors all external equipment like this and other types of switches through the normally closed side of the switch. So we take two cables from X1 and 2. Now if you have multiple external switches, you wire this in series. So it comes out of X1 through the normally closed, and then so on and so forth until it comes back on the X2. This one's a bit temperamental, it's a bit old, this switch. That's one side, and then we have the other side. So that feedback loop should now be clear because the switch is closed. So that's now wired. So I'm going to energize that now and show you what happens. So we're energized, we're on. As you can see, our safety isn't clear because our push button's in. And then we press our reset. And now the channels are both open and clear and ready to go. So if we press the e-stop again, safety comes on. Reset your e-stop, press reset, and then as you can see we're clear. Now that we've done this, we're going to now introduce this with our start stop and our run and stop signals. So to start off with, we're going to put 0 volts from our safety circuit and the 0 volts to our A2 of our contactor. Like that. So that is now ready 0 volts wise. Before, we've already put the 24 volts permanent to our stop button. So the 24 volts coming from our start button will go through down to our normally open. Pop that in there, like that. And then the other side goes to the top, and then a link from here to our A1 of our contactor. And then we're going to take our run signal and put it in the A1 of our contactor. Nice and tight. And then we're going to take a link from our 24 volt permanent at the bottom where our start went into. So this is now a 24 volt permanent. It's not a very good contactor, it's missing quite a few bits off of it. Right, pop that in there, like that. And then that will go into the one of the normally closed, the bottom side. And then for our stop signal, goes into the top of the normally closed. Now some contactors you might have look like this, which they only have one normally open and one normally closed. Now on this piece of kit you can run the feedback loop through the normally closed with the permanent. It doesn't affect it. So now we're going to energize. Our safeties is not ready, so now we press reset. Safety is now ready. Systems in stop. Press start. The contactor is engaged. Press stop. Stop signals come on. Press your e-stop. Stop goes off. Safety goes on. Reset e-stop. Reset. System's now ready to start and stop as much as you want. And that's it. It's as easy as that.